Karthik is about to start in 5 minutes. He's assembling.
Hello.
Sir, Karthik is ready.
To begin with the second session, I would like to welcome my colleagues who have picked up some insights from the Union Budget 2022 and will be sharing their views on areas of their interest. First of all, I would like to call upon Team 1. We have with us Kartikeya Gupta, Ankita Singh, Ishika Kesarwani, and Megha Agrawal presenting budget effect on manufacturing sector, innovation, and research and development.
Thank you, Himanshi.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karthik Gupta, and I'm going to present Budget 2022 and the effect on manufacturing sector, innovation, and research and development. Now we are moving to the introduction of the budget. A budget is an estimation of revenue and expenses over a specified period of time and is utilized by the government, businesses, and individuals. A budget is basically a financial plan for a defined period. The manufacturing sector's target of reaching $1 trillion can only met through a series of maintaining initiatives to augment the availability of products, production costs, and create demand and jobs. As we prepare Union Budget 2022, the manufacturing sector, which accounts for roughly 20% of the total GDP in India, and is expected to steer the Indian economic towards its goal of 25% GDP growth in the next 5 to 8 years from its current 17% growth rate. Next, improving the logistic infrastructure and delivering cost-effective and efficient logistics are also critical components for attaining the needed development in the industrial sector. Initiatives are also required to create demand for the sector, which would result in the creation of more employment. This will collectively help establish India as a manufacturing hub. Now we are moving forward to the manufacturing sector. A national highway network to be expanded by 25,000 kilometers during financial year 22. Steps announced in the budget, such as expansion of the emergency credit line guarantee schemes, a new law for special economic zone up to 100 cargo terminals will help in boosting economy and growth and exports. ECLGS over cover expanded by rupees 50,000 to 5 lakhs crores. Next, 6,000 crore programs to rate MSMEs to be rolled out over 5 years. Capex target expanded by 35% from rupees 5.54 lakhs crores to rupees 7 lakh crores. Rupees 48,000 crores allocated for completion of 80 lakhs houses under PM Awas Yojana. Next, the custom duty rates are calibrated to deliver a graduated rate structure to promote local manufacturing of wearable devices like hearing aids, headphones, electronic smart meters. The government is planning a gradual phase out of concessional tariff rates offered for capital goods and import projects. Next, the national highway network will be expanded by 25,000 kilometers with an outlay of rupees 20,000 crore via finance. Now we are moving forward to the innovation. The government will launch sovereign bonds and increase the funding for solar equipment. It will also install 500 gigawatts of non-fossil capacity by 2030. During the budget presentation, Sitaraman also stated that 5G services will be rolled out in India by 2023. A design-led manufacturing endeavor will be launched to manufacture 5G equipment to build a robust 5G ecosystem. States to be encouraged to revise syllabus of agriculture universities to meet needs of natural, zero budget and organic farming. One class, one TV channel program of PM E-Vidya will be expanded from 12 to 200 TV channels. Next, digital universities to be set up to provide education to be built up on hub and spoke model. This will enable states to provide supplementary education in regional languages for classes 1 to 12. One class, one TV channel to be implemented to provide supplementary education to children to make up for the loss of formal education due to COVID. Digital ecosystem for life and livelihood to be launched. One product, one railway station will be popularized. 400 new Vande Bharat trains to be introduced. And this is the budget 2023 to be expected. Now we are moving forward to the research and development. Proposal is reduce the vast incorporated society to be to 7% for those whose income is between 1 crores to 10 crores. Tax deduction limit increased to 14% on employees' contribution to NPS account of state government employees. The finance minister has announced a new battery swap policy to encourage electronic vehicle adoption. The government also proposed to open up defense research and development and R&D to provide to private for auto component development. Next, procurement of paddy in Kharif season 2021 will cover 1200 lakh metric ton of wheat and paddy from 163 lakh farmers, and rupees 2.37 lakh crores will be direct payment of MSP value to their accounts. And last, a policy for battery swapping and aid in reducing the upfront ownership cost of EVs, thereby driving customer preferences towards such vehicles. Now, if you have any queries, yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kartikeya, for representing Team 2. Well done. You have given the insights on how budget affects on manufacturing sector, innovation, and research and development. Now, moving forward, I would like to call upon Team 2. We have with us Aniket Nigam, Rajkirti Gupta, Himanshi Tiwari, and Nishtha Shukla to present the budget implication on development and infrastructure projects to achieve sustainable growth.
Rajkirti is joining, just wait.
Rajkirti. Rajkirti, are you there?
Sir, he's joining. Just yes, he's 952.
A very good afternoon to all. We team 2, including the Aniket Nigam, Himanshi Tiwari, and Nishtha Tiwari. I, Rajkirti Gupta, here is going to represent a topic budget, implication on the development and infrastructure project to achieve a sustainable growth. On the occasion of the National Symposium, first of all, let us have understand what exactly budget is. Spending a plan based on income expenses. It is estimated how much money you will make and spend over in a certain period of time. Like in every house, we have estimated budget for our expenses. I think you all agree with me. Similarly, every financial year, Government of India estimated expected expenditure for a development work in a different sector of economy. This year, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented paperless budget on 1 Feb 2020. Now we're talking about the purpose of the budget. The budget is an essential management tool for any business. It is a component of a plan to forecast for a period of time. The period could be annual and quarterly and monthly. A budget details how the overall plan is financially executed. The budget control can greatly access the daily operation and future growth of the business. Provide a time frame required for control finance. Provide a set of standards of performance evaluation. Now we're talking about importance of budget. The following are the importance of budget. So budget do not assure 100% success in economic stability. They help a bypass failure. A budget is a tool that transfers a general idea into the productive, action-oriented, and aspirational goal. It acts as a device that identifies and focuses on the development of the underprivileged person. It provides a benchmark to evaluate success or failure in achieving the goals and provide sustainable improving measures. The Union Budget of 2022-23. The Union Budget of 2023 is a growth-oriented budget which is focused on the 4 pillars: productivity, climate action, finance, investment, PM Gati Shakti plan. Now we're talking about importance of infrastructure developing economy. Infrastructure is basically a base in which economic growth is built upon. Roads, water system, mass transportation, airport, utilities are all examples of infrastructure. It covers those supporting services that help the growth of directly productive activities like agriculture, industry. These services include a wide range, starting from the provision of health service, education facilities, supply of such need as power and transport. Now talking about budget allocation for infrastructure. Allocation for the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has been 68% increases, 1,99,107.71 crore set aside for it in a union budget. Hike of 81,006 crore for the ministry has been almost entirely unmarked for the investment in NHAI, which has seen a 133% increase from the 57,350 crore in last year budget to 1,34,015 crore this year. The minister also said, government will also finalize its plan. कौन सा है? और इसके चेंज इसके बस Now we're talking about budget implication. The total amount of money allocated for the specific purpose during the specific period. Estimate of income and plan for domestic expenditure for an individual or a family, often over the short period such as month or week. Estimate summary of expected income expenditure of a company over the specific period, usually the financial year. Now talking about infrastructure project to achieve the sustainable growth. The Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announces a massive increase in the government allocation for the roads and railway in her budget 2022 speech in Parliament in 1 Feb Tuesday. The Ministry of the Railway budget allocation for financial year 23 is set to rise by 27.5% to rupees 1.40 trillion to financial year 23 from rupees 1.12 trillion to financial year 2022. Since COVID has tempered private sector appetite for the buyout, large infra asset sector analysts had estimated gross budgetary support toward the infrastructure sector had to increase by the 120% with focus on roads and railways. The budgetary allocation on the newly set up development finance institution, the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. The Finance Minister said that National Highway network will be expanded by 25,000 kilometers in 2022-23. 20,000 crore in funds will be mobilized in addition to budgetary resources. Now PM's Gati Shakti National Master Plan will encompass the 7 engines for economic transformation, seamless multimodal connectivity and logical efficiency. The 7 engine includes: first one is road, second one is railway, third one is airport and ports, mass transport and waterways and logistic infrastructure. 400 new Vande Bharat train will be introduced, and the railway will also develop a new product for small farmers and MSME. Integration for the postal and railway network facilitating the parcel movement was announced. Now we're talking about the investment on infrastructure. India is now about 3.1 trillion size economy. It aims to touch the $5 trillion mark by 2025. Financial year 2008-2017, India invested 1.1 trillion of the economy, but now it will have spent 1.4 trillion to achieve the GDP of 5 trillion by 2024-25. That's all. Thank you so much. Anyone want to ask some question? You may ask.
Thank you so much, Team 2, for making.
Himanshi, you're on
Himanshi ji,
mute.
you are muted.
Thank you, Team 2, for making us understand budget allocation on development and infrastructure. Now we have with us Team 3, including Vedant Rungta, Pradyumn Tiwari, Ranjana Bajpayee, and Utkarsh Gupta to present the budget implication on investment and financial sector.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Pradyumn Tiwari.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Ranjana Bajpayee, am the
Unmute yourself, beta. Unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. I, Ranjana Bajpayee, and the team Pradyumn Tiwari, Vedant Rungta, and Utkarsh Gupta will be representing the budget implication on investment and financial sector. Here we'll discuss about crypto and taxes are discussed, digital infrastructure, sustainability, and total infrastructure. The Union Budget 2021 was certainly a unique and historic budget in many aspects. The first paperless budget was also the first of the new decade in which India hopes to further establish its leadership as a global superpower. Being only the fourth budget delivered after a contraction in the economy, it does not stay away from increasing the capital outlay and providing a fiscal push to lift the morale of an economy that is reeling under this shock of a once in 150-year event. But coming on the heel of the COVID-19 pandemic, which seems to be quite fortuitously receding, where banks were surprisingly less impacted, the budget certainly provides hope, cheer, and opportunity for growth in the financial sector if handled wisely. Fiscal 2020-21 has been a mixed bag for the Indian banking industry. While credit growth has remained subdued, not performing assets and stressed assets have reduced marginally. The second half saw credit growth picking up marginally thanks to relaxation of credit to the agricultural sector and due to a marginal increase in vehicles, loans, and credit to industries. All said and done, the second half of fiscal 2021 is expected to bring some gains for the Indian banking industry, albeit marginal, and will be relief in comparison to the pain the industry faced in the first half of the fiscal. With this as a backdrop, what does this budget mean for the Indian banking, financial services and industries and insurance industries, especially after the market reacted to so favorably the budget? I have outlined few factors Economy. Capex target expanded by 35.4% from rupees 5.5 lakh crore to rupees 7.50 lakh crore. Financial year 23 effective capex seen at rupees 10.7 lakh crore. India's growth highest among all major economies. We are now in a strong position to withstand challenges. The goal is complementing macro growth with micro all-inclusive welfare, digital economy, and fintech. Tech-enabled development, energy transition, and climate action. ECLGS covers expanded rupees 50,000 rupees 5 lakh crore. Top focus of the budget this year are PM Gati Shakti, inclusive development, productivity enhancement, sunrise opportunities, energy transition, climate action, financing of investments. Productivity linked incentive schemes in 15 sectors have received excellent response, receiving investment intentions worth rupees 30 lakh crore. Economic recovery benefiting from public investment and capital spending, the budget will provide impetuous growth. The government will tax income from digital asset transfer at 30%, no deduction allowed while computing income except cost of acquisition. Loss cannot be set off from any other income, gift of cryptocurrencies to be taxed at receiver's end. The new provision to allow taxpayers to file update return. Update return can be filed within 2 years from the end the relevant assessment year. Alternative minimum tax for cooperative societies to be cut to 15%. Proposal will reduce surcharge cooperative societies to 7% for those whose income is between rupees 1 crore to rupees 10 crore. Talking about infrastructure, national highway network to be expanded by 25,000 kilometers during financial year 2022 to 23. There's TAP e-portal to be launched to promote digital infrastructure. Strategic transfer of ownership of Air India complete now. 2,000 kilometers to be brought under Kavach by financial year 2022 to 23. For multimodal national park contracts will be awarded in 23. One product on railway station will be popularized. 400 new Vande Bharat trains to be introduced. PM Gati Shakti Master Plan for expressways will be formulated in next financial year. 100 PM Gati Shakti terminals to be set up in the next 3 years. Talking about agriculture, government to pay rupees 2.37 lakh crore toward procurement of wheat and paddy under MSP operations. 2022 to 23 has been announced at International Year of Millets. Railways will be developed with new products for small farmers and MSMEs. Rationalized schemes to increase domestic oilseeds production will be bought in to cut down imports. Kisan drones for crop assessment, land records, spraying of insecticides expected to drive a wave of technology in agricultural sector. 10 Betwa River linking project worth rupees 44,605 crore announced. Draft DPRS for 5 rivers link have been finalized. Financial startups to be incentives to aid rural enterprises. National farming will be promoted along Ganga River corridor. A completely paperless e-bill system will be launched by ministers for procurement. Financial support will be provided to farmers to take up agro. Budget 22. How does the government's budget impact fiscal deficit and the value of financial assets? COVID-19 led to a massive transformation in fiscal and monetary policies across the globe. The reason was pretty evident: to reduce the damaging impact of the virus on growth. The economies needed artificial support, and the policy making strived to provide it. We saw a coordinated monetary and fiscal action, with the government browsing more to spend more and The central bank reducing rates to help the government borrow easily. This, however, is the outcome and not the objective. The objective of both actions was high growth while having prices under control. It means maintaining a fine balance. Thank you. If anybody has any questions, you may ask.
Thank you, Team 3, for informing us with the budget 2022. Now we have with us Team 4, including Prachi Singh, Ayush Dwivedi, Muskan Nigam, and Astha Pandey to highlight a step towards achieving sustainable health and well-being of citizens.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ayush Dwivedi, and I'm here to give a presentation on budget. My main topic is a step towards achieving sustainable health and well-being for citizens of India. First of all, I would like to give you an overview of Union Budget 2022-2023. This budget is futuristic in nature and mainly focuses on 4 pillars: PM Gati Shakti, inclusive development, productivity enhancement, and financing of investment. Here, I would like to quote a statement of our Honorable Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman. This budget is going to be a new initiation of Amrit Kal. The Amrit Kal is a time period of 25 years. It will start from our current year to the 100th year of our independence. The prime focus of this budget is startup, railways, skill development, and education. In startup, the government has extended the scheme of emergency credit linked guarantee scheme till 2023. It will help MSMEs, and 2 lakh crore rupees will be credited to MSMEs. It will also be a great help to small business houses. Second point, railways. Railway has taken a great initiative of one nation, one product. It will be themed as one station will be themed as for one product, and this will promote the local products and local vendors. 100 PM Gati Shakti cargo terminals will be constructed in next 3 years, as well as 400 Vande Bharat trains will be manufactured in upcoming 3 years. Now, the third point is skill development. Government is creating a digital ecosystem for skilling, reskilling, and upskilling by a portal, Desh Stack e-portal. The startups will be promoted for facilitating Drone Shakti and Drone as a Service. The last and the most important point is education. In the field of education, the PM has initiated a mission of PM e-Vidya. In this, there will be one class on one TV channel. It will be a supplementary education given to all students in all regional languages. Virtual labs and high quality e-content will be given through digital teachers. Now, I would like to come back to my main topic, health budget. The focus of this budget is more on growth rather than another things. The concern have been decided to the growth rather than COVID. In my next slide, I would like to discuss some key points of health budget. The government of India has taken some health initiatives in this budget. The first one, and it is a revolutionary step taken by the government of India, is National Digital Health Ecosystem. National Digital Health Ecosystem will be rolled out this year, and this purpose is to create an ecosystem around the citizens of India, so that it can provide a protection. Like in this mission, some things will be provided to the citizens, like health ID card, telemedicine, digital doctor, health family registries, personal health records, and e-pharmacy. It will be a great help to all citizens. Now, in my next slide, National Tele Mental Health. It is based on mental health. Mental health has been a topic of great concern after post-COVID. Therefore, the government has decided to set up 23 tele-mental health excellence centers to take care about it. It will provide counseling and care to citizens. This service will be 24/7. Some benefits have been provided to women and children through some missions by the government of India. Here are some: Mission Shakti, Mission Poshan 2.0, Saksham Anganwadi, and Mission Vatsalya. First, I will talk about Mission Vatsalya. Mission Vatsalya is related to children, and Mission Vatsalya is related to children. Children have been recognized by policymakers as one of the supreme national assets. India is the home of 472 million children up to the age of 18, which comprises around 39% of whole population. The objective of Mission Vatsalya is to secure a healthy, happy childhood for every child in India and foster a sensitive, supportive, and synchronized ecosystem for the development of children. Now, the next mission is Mission Poshan 2.0 and Saksham Anganwadi. Under Saksham Anganwadi scheme, 2 lakh Anganwadis will be upgraded to Saksham Anganwadi, which will help a lot. And under Mission 2.0, it will be provide nutrition to the children. Mission Poshan 2.0 is an integrated nutrition support program. It will help to tackle the challenges of malnutrition in children, adolescent girls, pregnant women, and lactating mothers through a strategic shift in nutrition content, and by creating an ecosystem that will develop and promote practices to nurture health, wellness, and immunity. One of the very important mission which has been launched by the Modi government is Mission Shakti. Mission Shakti is a program under which government will provide a life cycle support for the women through integrated care, safety, protection, and empowerment. There are two sub schemes under Mission Shakti. One is Sambal and Samarth. Sambal is safety and security for women, and Samarth is empowerment of women. Under Sambal scheme, there are pre-existing schemes which will continue to run. One-stop centers, women helpline, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and Nari Adalats. Last, Har Ghar Nal Se Jal. This yojana will also help citizens of India. Under this, government has decided 60,000 crore rupees for to cover 3.8 crore households in 2022-23. Through this scheme, they will provide tap water to each house. The last, I would like to mention one more initiative by Government of India in this budget is chemical-free and natural farming to be promoted across the country, as it is directly related to our wellness of citizens. Thank you, and if anybody has any kind of query, they can ask.
Thank you, Team 4, to highlight a step towards achieving sustainable health and well-being of citizens. Moving forward, we have with us Team 5, including Shreya Singh, Devansh Nigam, Nikita Bajpayee, and Shrishti Bajpayee. They will give highlights on boost to economic growth and development post-pandemic.
A very good afternoon to all present here. I am Shreya Singh, student of MBA first year, is going to represent our presentation on topic Boost Economic Growth and Development Post-Pandemic. With the help of our team members which are involved in the presentation, Mr. Divyansh Nigam, Ms. Nikita Bajpai, and Ms. Ishri. So moving further, the contents which we are going to cover under the presentation are introduction, impact on stock market due to pandemic, impact on different sector due to pandemic, solution to boost our economic growth and development, fiscal stimuli, budget impression, economic development, economic chart, and finally we will conclude our presentation. So moving further, as we all know that Indian economy is the third largest economy in the world in terms of purchasing power and sixth by nominal GDP. And we also know that economy is one of the pillar of measuring how good and bad country is doing. But due to coronavirus, it has caused breakdown in financial market, causing capital flights and currency devaluation. So let us see how impact of coronavirus on the stock market has been done. So we know that NSE and BSE, basically National Stock Exchange and Bombay Stock Exchange, are one of the major stock exchange in India and is globally the third largest stock exchange in terms of number of equity trades and has world largest derivatives by volume. But we can see from the chart that how this both has been affected a lot due to pandemic. So pandemic has caused majorly airline sector, automobile sector, insurance sector has been affected a lot. Like we can see here, their estimated loss of income for airlines is 3,500 crore in the financial year 21. And automobile sector, we can see that two-wheeler sales has been declined by 34% month-on-month respectively in the April 21, and the three-wheeler sales has been declined by 57%. If we talk about insurance sector, the insurance industry has registered almost 1 lakh claim of coronavirus worth rupees 14,738 crore, which is approximately 2 billion until April 7/21 in the financial year 21, and out of which almost half, which is almost equals to 7,907 crore has been settled. So we have seen basically many problems we have faced during the pandemic year. Due to forced home isolation, people spend less money and exports are limited. And we also know. May I continue?
Yes, yeah, proceed.
Okay, so we have seen that due to forced home isolation, people spend less money and exports are limited. And we also know that mainly people have lost their job during the pandemic year. And the solution to this is fiscal stimuli. So what is fiscal stimuli? A fiscal stimuli is a package comprising tax rebates and incentives. It is used by the government to stimulate the economy and prevent the country from the financial crisis. It provides tax rebates and boost spending, and we know if the spending will increase, demand will also increase. It creates a situation where employee rises. This in turn leads to rise in income, which proportionately equals to spending. As this continues, the economy recovers from collapse. So let us see budget impression on economic development. So India's economic growth is estimated at 9.2% for the financial year 2022, which is the highest among the all largest economy. Budget has proposed to reduce the alternative minimum tax AMT, which is known as, for the cooperative society from the current 18.5% to 15%, leveling out the field with private companies. Defense RD research and development will be opened up for the industry, startup, academia. This will encourage private industry to take up design and development for military platforms. Moving further, the union budget has raised allocation for the capital expenditure of rupees 7.5 lakh crore in financial year 2022-23, up from rupees 5.5 lakh crore in 21-22, with hopes that continuing focus on ramping up public capital spending will help crowd in private sector investment. So mainly in the Union Budget 2022-23, the PM vision has been guided by 4 pillars. Number 1, PM Gati Shakti. Number 2, inclusive development. Number 3, productivity enhancement and investment in green energy. And number 4, air investment financing. They have the potential to change the scale for the economy Indian placing it to next level any developed nation. So see, from the economy and economic chart, we can see that during the financial year 21, how the GDP has been declined by the more than minus 20% during the pandemic year, but it has been back at 8.4%, as we can see from the chart. Moving further, India's projected to fastest growing economy, we can see in the comparison to other country, World Bank has projected India's GDP to grow at a faster pace than any other country for the current year as well as for the next year. So we are at the last of the presentation. So we are concluding from here that agencies like IMF, which is known as International Monetary Fund, and World Bank have shown in the Economic Outlook report that India is on course to becoming the fastest growing economy of the world. So thank you. So thank you everyone. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Team 5. We have understood the highlights about the economic growth and development post-pandemic. Thank you so much. Now we have with us Ms. Radhika Mangla, a student of Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak, to present Budget 2022-23, Boost to Economic Growth. Ms. Radhika, please proceed.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this is Radhika and I'm going to present on Budget 22. It is as a boost to economic growth. So first of all, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented her fourth budget. This is Narendra Modi's government's 10th budget and the second preparedness budget in view of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic situation. India's economic growth in fiscal year 2022 to be at the 9.2%, highest among all the large economies. India is in a strong position to withstand challenges due to higher vaccinations, she added. Now, what are the steps taken to boost the economic growth? So first of all, in 2022 to 23, 80 lakh houses will be completed for the beneficiaries of PM Awas Yojana. For this, government has allocated rupees 48,000 crore. In current financial year, government plans to spend rupees 47,390 crore under this scheme against the budgeted rupees 27,500 crore. This will have a multiplier impact on the economy. Second, the government plans the use of Kisan drones, which is to be promoted for crop assessment, digitalization of land records, spraying of insecticides and nutrients. Third is the scheme called Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme is to be started from April 2021 to January 22, has been around 40% higher than during the same period in 2019 to 20. The government has allocated rupees 73,000 crore towards America this year. This has been increased to 98,000 crore. Now, the government has also given some liquidity support to micro, small and medium enterprises. Center has decided to extend the emergency credit line guarantee scheme up to March 2023. So MSMEs with modest financial resources were hardest hit by COVID and lockdowns. So more than 13 million MSMEs have availed extra credit under this scheme. There is also a push for sustainable development in line with India's commitment at COP26. The finance minister announced a slew of measures such as increased allocation for domestic solar module manufacturing, a proposal for a battery swapping policy, and some framework encouraging private sector to develop sustainable and innovative business models for battery or energy as a service, and mobilizing funds through sovereign green bonds, among others. This will boost the renewable energy and electric vehicle sectors and access to capital for green projects. For ease of doing business, having scrapped over 25,000 compliances and repealed over 1486 laws in the past few years, Center is moving towards ease of doing business 2.0. Next is capex also give a boost to economic growth. The government has announced a 35% uptick in capital expenditure outlay to rupees 7.5 trillion. This, along with rupees 1 trillion support extended to states for capex commitments, is expected to give a strong push to the growth. It will help to revive the confidence of the broader private sector and push it to increase spending plans. Higher government spending is also expected to empower consumers with better spending power. Now, how does capex give a multiplier effect? At face value, a capital outlay of rupees 7.5 trillion or 2.9% of GDP was indeed a major highlight of her budget speech on Tuesday. At 19% of total expenditure, this is the largest share that the capex has scored in 18 years. A huge thrust is coming from an allocation of nearly rupees 1 trillion to assist states in catalyzing overall investments in the economy through 50-year interest-free loans. This has resulted in a massive five-fold jump in capex through transfers. Now, how can we say that a budget is the engine of growth? First of all, it is clear that continued thrust on upgrading India's infrastructure. The budget reinforces the credibility and visibility of the ambitious national infrastructure pipeline with an unprecedented 35% jump in the provision for the centre's capital expenditure. The second aspect pertains to the various tweaks that have been made to custom duties. These are broadly pragmatic interventions to support value addition and job creations in Indian manufacturing. Third is the announcement regarding new legislation for special economic zones. The special economic zone concept, which India adopted many years ago, sought to create large pockets of export-intensive activities supported by world-class infrastructure and a favorable duty structure. This year budget is futuristic as Government of India is possibly as enthusiastic about digitization as the private corporate sector. It talks about digital tools and platforms for delivering health services, skills development programs, and monitoring the PM Gati Shakti program. The government will promote the use of Kisan drones for crop assessment, land records, and spraying of insecticides. So, India will also be launching sovereign green bonds this year, again being one of the pioneers. The budget also mentions the launch of digital rupee by the Reserve Bank of India in fiscal year 23, which will make India among a handful of countries with their own central bank issued digital currency using blockchain technology. So all these initiatives see India's adoption of leading technologies and practices. So overall, we can conclude that this is a bold and imaginative budget that reignites the animal spirits in the economy and invests in India's future. The economy is already showing signs of a very strong rebound and budget will sharply accelerate the wheels of economic activity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Radhika, for giving us your insights on the budget 2022-23. Moving forward, we have with us Team 6, including Harshita Mishra, Yash Nigam, Mitali Gupta, and Saipriya Dikshit. They will present on the analysis of budget implication on exports and imports.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor to have the opportunity to address such a respected audience. Today, I, Yash Nigam, will be discussing with you all the analysis of Budget 2022 implications on imports and exports. While getting to know what is Union Budget, so in simple language and in simple words, we can say that it is an estimate of income and expenditure of the government on a periodical basis. It is also known as the Annual Financial Report of India. Like every year, this year also on 1st of February, our current Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget 2022. Many of you in the audience must be knowing that why the budget is always presented on the 1st of Feb. But to them who don't know, so here's a fact time.
The budget is presented on the 1st of Feb so that the government can prepare for its implementation before the new financial year, which begins from April. While presenting the budget related to imports and export, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman laid stress or mainly focused on two things, which are domestic production and domestic manufacturing, to which you will also agree by the end of the PPT. So now moving on to the subject matter of my PPT, I'll give you an overview of all the changes which have been proposed and their impacts on the various sectors. The first sector is our electronics. It is an important sector and it is a growing sector. So the changes which have been proposed are custom duty rates are being calibrated to provide a graded rate structure to facilitate domestic manufacturing of wearable devices such as smartwatches, bands, hearable devices, and electronic smart meters. As you all know that during the ongoing pandemic, everything went and is taking place online, which give rise to demand for gadgets, especially smartphones. So keeping in that mind, duty concessions are also being given to parts of the transformer of mobile phone chargers and camera lens of mobile camera module and certain other items. This will enable domestic manufacturing of high growth electronic items and also make the smartphones cheaper in the near future. Moving on to our next sector, which is gems and jewelry. To boost the gems and jewelry sector, custom duty on cut and polished diamonds and gemstone is being reduced to 5%. But I'll tell you everyone that this will offer only a small relief to the trade, as cut and polished diamonds only constitute 5% of the total imports, while the rest 95% of the imports still is occupied by unpolished diamonds, on which there is no change in the 10% duty. Moving forward to the second point, simply sewn diamond would attract nil custom duty. A simplified regulatory framework shall be implemented by June this year to facilitate export of jewelry through e-commerce. Everyone, before moving to the fourth point, I must tell you about what is imitation jewelry first. So imitation jewelry are the accessories that are made using a variety of artificial material. So, to discourage import of undervalued imitation jewelry, the custom duty on imitation jewelry is being prescribed in such a manner that a duty of at least rupees 400 per kg is paid on its import. Moving to our next sector, which is chemicals. So, custom duty on certain critical chemicals, namely methanol, acetic acid, and heavy feedstocks for petroleum refining are being reduced. And this is being done because methanol and acetic acid, which top the list of imported chemicals in terms of volume. Second, duty is being raised on sodium cyanide, for which adequate domestic capacity exists. Now we can all analyze that these changes will help in enhancing the domestic value addition. Okay, now moving on, moving on to very crucial sector, which is micro, small and medium enterprises, popularly and commonly known as MSME. Now, why I said that it is very crucial, because please pay attention to this fact. MSME is responsible for around 45% of the country's total manufacturing, 40% of country's export, and almost 30% of the national GDP. So let's see what budget holds for MSME. Duty on umbrellas is being raised to 20%. Exemption to parts of umbrellas is being withdrawn. Before moving forward, I'll just come back to the first part of the sentence, that duty on umbrellas is being raised to 20%. This is a very necessary good, and this change will produce a hike which will result in a hike in the price of the umbrella. So why it is done? This is done by the government to provide protection to such industries that do not deploy any major technology. And in umbrella sector or umbrella industry is one of those, because it is manufactured in small units spread across 10 to 12 districts, with Kerala being the major manufacturing. Moving forward, everyone, exemption is also being rationalized on implements and tools for agri sectors which are manufactured in India, keeping in mind the condition of the farmers and the demand of the farmers. Custom duty exemptions given to steel scrap last year is being extended for another year to provide relief to MSME secondary steel producers. Anti-dumping and countervailing duty, commonly known as CVD, on stainless steel and coated steel flat products, bars of alloy steel, and high-speed steel are being revoked in larger public interest, considering prevailing high prices of metal. Moving forward to our next category, exemptions are being provided on items such as embellishment, trimming, fasteners, buttons, zippers, lining material, specified leather, furniture fittings, and packaging boxes that may be needed by bona fide or genuine exporters of handicrafts, textile and leather garments, leather footwear, and other goods, just to encourage exports. Now, there has been another change, which is abolishment of concessional duty on imported capital goods, and especially for fabric manufacturing and processing. Now, this change has pros and cons both. First, we will talk about a con, which is given below only. This will increase the capital cost of new projects, replacement of existing machineries, till such machineries are manufactured in India. But talking about a pros, I'll tell you, due to this, now a company will try to procure any capital good locally, and the Indian companies or the multinational companies will try to adopt greenfield or brownfield expansion. Okay, so some changes related to the exports are as well. Duty is being reduced on certain inputs required for shrimp aquaculture so as to promote its export. If you don't know, shrimp farming is an aquaculture business that exists in either a marine or freshwater environment, producing shrimp or prawns for human consumption. The Special Economics Act will be replaced with a new legislation that will enable the states to become partner in development of enterprise and service hub. This will cover all large existing and new industries enclaves to optimally utilize available infrastructure and enhance competitiveness of export. Next, one more important sector is capital goods. Now, first of all, I tell you what are capital goods. So everyone, capital goods are those goods which are produced to produce another goods rather than being used by the consumer for his or her or family consumption. So changes related to capital goods are as follows. Several duty exemptions, even extending to over 3 decades in some cases, have been granted to capital goods for various sectors like power, fertilizer, textiles, leather, footwear, food processing, and fertilizers. This will double the production of capital goods by 2025. And everyone, please pay attention. This will eradicate the most major problem the country is facing right now, which is unemployment. And eventually, this will also result in increased economic activity. Moving to the second set of changes regarding capital goods, it is proposed to phase out the concessional rates in capital goods and project import gradually and apply a moderate tariff of 7.5%. Certain exemptions for advanced machineries that are not manufactured within the country shall continue. A few exemptions are being introduced on inputs like specialized castings, ball screw, and linear motion guide to encourage domestic manufacturing of capital goods. Okay, the last sector is our tariff. Now, those who don't know, a tariff is a tax imposed by one country on the goods and services imported from another country. Now, related to this, as Ashutosh sir also said that blending of fuel is a priority of the government. So to encourage the efforts for blending of fuel, unblended fuel shall attract an additional differential excise duty of 2 rupees per litre from the first day of October 2022. Simplify the custom rate and tariff structure, particularly for sectors like chemical, textiles, and metals, and minimize disputes. Removal of exemptions items on which or can be manufactured in India and providing concessional duties in raw material in achieving the main objective of the present government, Make in India. Last but not the least, it is the bar graph showing the imports and export of the various financial year. And as you can see, the last financial year is till December 2021. And we can see that after the 2 years depression or recession period due to this pandemic, in April to December, in 9 months, the merchandise exports have already touched $300 billion in the first 9 months. So this is expected that the financial year 22 looks much better with exports already. With this, I come to end of my presentation. Thank you everyone for the attention. And stay safe, stay blessed.
Thank you so much, Team 6, for presenting analysis on implication of budget on imports and exports. Moving forward, in Team 7, we have Alima Akhtar, Manas Mishra, Divyanshu Avasthi, and Ayushi Gautam to present analysis of initiatives taken for Digital India. Yes, Team 7, you are going to present analysis of initiatives taken for Digital India. Please go ahead.
A very warm and pleasant afternoon to one and all present here. My name is Salima Akhtar, and on behalf of my college, Jagran Institute of Management, and under the guidance of my coordinator, Mr. Ashish Mishra, sir, and my dear cooperative teammates, we are here to present on this event, National Symposium Budgetary Outreach 2022 and to 2023. And the topic for our presentation is initiatives taken for the Digital India. So first of all, I would just like to throw light on the topic of what is actually budget and what budget was declared by the ministry. So actually budget we can understand as a financial plan, and usually it is for a defined period, and it helps, for the, it can be allocated for different revenues, expenditures and costs, and all the expenses for the taken for the year. So for this fiscal year, starting from the April 2022, our budget has declared as you can say rupees 39.4 lakh crores, and it will continue with the next year, with the next financial year. So we'll discuss about what are the impacts of this budget on our Digital India. But before that, I want to discuss on the topic of Digital India. That first of all, what is Digital India? So I think it's very common word. Nowadays, we are working so much digitally. So, but if officially we say that it was the initiative taken by the government of India, by our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, at July 1st, 2015. And since then, so many schemes are coming digitally. So the major, we can say, the major advantage of this, or our objective of our government, was to enhance the online infrastructure by empowering India digitally, by increasing the growth of the electronic and digital infrastructure. So with this, we can say whenever we are doing online payments, like we say that cashless India or Atmanirbhar India, we are doing online shopping, online, we are ordering food online, we are downloading our Aadhaar cards online. I think we all are somewhat contributing to our Digital India scheme. With this, we say that, it comes that Digital India definitely is standing on one pillar, that is internet connectivity. If we are having a good internet connectivity, definitely any digital things which are, government has provided to access us will be very fine working, right? But if we do not have internet, then this Digital India would be, it will be imbalanced. But apart from that internet connection, we have 9 other pillars on which our Digital India is standing. So let's have a brief look about these 9 pillars of Digital India. So first one, it says for broadband highways. So broadband was actually provided by the government for all rural areas, which included 250,000 villages, which were covered and provided with broadband highways and good internet connectivities. With this, government provided broadband for all urban areas, and this national information infrastructure, which includes SWAN, NKN, and government offices with a good internet connectivity. With this, the second pillar is regarding universal access to mobile phones. So I think mobile phones and smartphones are very, common these days. So the internet connectivity and the Sir, आगे नहीं बढ़ रही थी क्या? Okay, sorry for the interruption, everyone. Okay, so we were continuing with our second, that was universal access to mobile phones, and then our third pillar is about public internet access program. So this program is actually divided into two phases. One about common service centers, which was initiated usually for backward people who are not so much accessible to mobile internet connection and smartphones, or you can say laptop. So they can have this, the government schemes they can access, or the government delivery services they can access from this common service center. And approximately 150,000 post offices were also converted into multiple service center to provide the government related services online. With this, we have e-government. So this e-governance pillar is very important. Like, first of all, it focuses on form simplification, which include the form contains so many things which were very difficult. But nowadays, the form simplification included, so that the people who are not so much literate, they can also have a good understanding about the forms. The easy form made was very easy. Also, the online repositories can be there, or they can collect online certificates. They can collect school certificates online. E-Kranti, as you know, that it is the major pillar that which is focusing on the e-Aadhaar card, like the Aadhaar card, which is a unique identification 12-digit code, and it is provided online nowadays, and we can access it anywhere from any time. Moving on with our next sixth pillar, that is about information for all. As the word this pillar suggests, information for all. So every citizen of this country has the right to access the information. So open data platforms, all the government schemes and platforms were open for all the citizens. And social media was definitely involved, because there were some people who were not aware about many schemes which were coming. So social media was used as a power to nowadays major public of India is using social media. So social media was actually used as a power for awareness. Then online messaging and greeting card process was started. With this, we have a seventh pillar that talks about electronics manufacture, all the import and export of digitally that can be shared, data can be shared regarding this. Taxes and policies were shared online and digitally, we can say. With this, we have last two pillars that says about IT for jobs. So the IT skills, I think that not only for IT sector departments, it is important for every department to know and have some IT skills to work properly on a system. So training centers were open and trainings were provided, and approximately 3 lakh services were delivered using these training centers. Then we have our last but not the least pillar. It talks about early harvest programs, which includes e-greeting cards. Usually we get on online messages, public Wi-Fi hotspot on stations, railway stations, or bus stands, and the institutes, malls, and so many other places. With this, we have talked about 9 pillars of India. Now we can say now we are talking about initiatives that were taken on this scheme, that were Digital India initiatives and objectives. So the most important was Aadhaar card, e-Aadhaar card. So usually it happens somewhere we have missed this. So this unique identification which is provided to us, even as infant, baby, or an aged person, we can access it from online by e-Aadhaar card, by the government app provided to us, and easily anyone can access it. Then talking about e-sign, so this facility is now used by all public sector and private sector departments. After this post-pandemic, we can see that work from homes and online studies are going on. So all the documents can be signed, digitally, and attendance and biometrics was also provided with the digital part. Pay government, I think we are very much aware about this. We are using so many different kind of apps to pay online. So this provided us the facility to make online payment using our net banking, credit cards, and debit cards. Then a digital locker, like we all have the Elmira, I think we have a locker in that. So similarly, government provided us this digital locker, so that we have only the person who is using this digital locker will access this digital locker and will be linked with the Aadhaar card. But the limit about this digital locker was only about regarding, you can say, maximum 1 GB. But many people can keep their PAN cards, their school certificates, repository, degree certificates in this digital locker. So it was a major initiative taken by the government. With this, we have Jan Dhan Yojana. So it was actually required and beneficial to many of the rural people who, because here no minimum balance was required, as we talk about other sector banks like reserve, like state banks, or if we talk about private banks, many service charges are also taxed. Unlike them, this they also provided life insurance of rupees 30,000 and accidental insurance cover of rupees 1 lakh. So these were the initiatives that were major taken by our, you can say, government to work digitally. Then there were several investment opportunities which were done by the private sector companies, like Reliance Digital invested $39.3 billion. Then Vodafone, they invested $2 billion. Likewise, we have many public private sector companies which invested on our digital India investment opportunities. Now, I think for me, whenever I look at anything, so everything has a boon or bane, or you can say pros and cons and advantages or drawbacks. So this major scheme was having so many advantages, but there were some challenges which came forward. So the first was like regarding the regulatory roadblock, means the taxation system and the policies which were digitally accessible to people, they were not so much clear. So this was creating a roadblock to in the e-commerce sector and to enhance the infrastructure sector of the departments. Then talking about government RFS, RFPs, these means request for proposals. Many, the government sector, they were the employees in the government sector, they were not so much active. So many requests were pending for the proposals, or many complaints, you can say many issues were pending, still pending because of digital world. Then digital divide. So I think there is a large gap we have to cover between a high sector and a low sector society, or a rich and poor. So to cover this gap, we need a lot of time, and definitely still a lot of initiatives are to be taken to cover this gap. So this digital divide is still a challenge for a digital India nowadays. Then poor connectivity, I think, is the major we can say issue which is regarding this digital India, because working on a digital India or promoting digital India, we should have a proper internet connection. It can be in the form of Wi-Fi, it can be in the form of dongle or mobile hotspot. Talking about our last challenge, that is about proper policy makings. Sometimes what happens, the policy which are made about like central governments or state governments, so they are not accepted by other opponent parties. So with this, what happened, there is no proper policy making. So the proper policies, we can say, which is shared to us, it is actually improper, or sometimes it is accepted by other departments, or sometimes it is not accepted by central government or state government. So this creates against a mess or chaos, we can say. Apart from them, we have several cyber crimes also going on with this digital India. So there are some challenges which we need to cover on to promote and enhance the growth of digital India. Now let us see what are the effects of this budget financial year of 2022 and 2023 on our digital India. So we are very glad that our Ministry of Electronics and Finance, they included this digital rupee, and digital rupee will be released by the Reserve Bank of India, and payments will be very quicker. Also, the government has charged the 30% tax on digital assets and the cryptocurrency. Also with this, Bitcoin will also be released in this financial year, and the 5G spectrum, and the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, they outlay for Digital India program, and it was, we have a tremendous increase, about 67.13%, and this year we have a budget of rupees 10,676 crores in Digital India. So I think that was all for today, and we have vision areas for Digital India. So definitely hoping for good in the promoting, or we can say the opportunities for Digital India. We have so many visions, and with this, I'll just put a full stop on my words. And thank you for everyone. Thank you, my team, for have us supporting, and thank you for attending, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Team 7, for giving your insights on initiatives taken by Government for Digital India for financial year 2022-23. Now we have Team 8, which includes Dayalu Bajpayee, Sanatan Rastogi, Samiksha Yadav, and Ritu Mishra. They will be presenting on India's union budget, changing the scope and the horizons.
A very good afternoon to all. Myself, Samiksha Yadav from MCA first year, and I would like to say thanks to all my faculty members to providing me this opportunity. And my topic is India's Union Budget 2022, changing scopes and the horizons. So, here are some points, some key points on budget. First, will just a minute. Yeah. Yes. First, will the futuristic budget. Second, RBI launched digital currency. And third one is no changes on income tax. Fourth is 30% tax on digital currency, 60 lakh jobs under Atmanirbhar Bharat, the action of 5G spectrum, link post office with banks, e-passport, budget expanded by 15% to 40 lakh crore, focus on education, women and safety. Next is entered into Amrit Kal, and last is Nal Se Jal scheme. And here's some of comparison between cheaper and costlier. Some cheaper is like mobile phones, charger, camera lens, clothes, diamonds, farming tools, chemicals, and costlier things are loudspeakers, smart meters, solar products, X-ray machines, playing equipment, electronic toys. Here, scopes of union budget. First is economy, taxes, jobs, infra, housing and urban planning, and startup, agriculture, electricals, education, finance and inclusion, healthcare, telecom, women and children. In and the top in economy, capex target expanded by 35.4% from rupee 5.54 lakh crore to rupee 7.0 lakh crore. Financial year 23 effective capex seen at rupee 10.7 lakh crore. Economic recovery benefiting from public investment and capital spending. This budget will provide impacts to growth. India's growth highest among all major economies. We are now in a strong position to withstand challenges. Next is taxes. The government will tax income from digital asset transfers at 30%. No deduction allowed while computing income. Expect cost of acquisition. Gift of cryptocurrencies to be taxed at receivers, and updated return can be filled within 2 years from the end of relevant assessment year. Proposal will reduce surcharge on cooperative societies to 7% for those whose income is between 1 crore to 10 crore. And the next point will job. ECLGS extended till March 2023. 60 lakh jobs in next 5 years. Efforts of central state government leading to job entrepreneurial opportunities. Digital ecosystem for skilling and livelihood to be launched. API-based skill credits payments layers to find relevant jobs and opportunities. And point is infrastructure. As we know that National Highway Network to be expanded by 5,000 kilometers during financial year 22 to 23. Dash Start e-portal to be launched to promote digital infrastructure. 2,000 kilometers to be brought under coverage by financial year 22 to 23. One product, one railway station will be popularized. 400 new Vande Bharat trains to be introduced. 100 PM Gati Shakti terminals to be set up in next 3 years. Next, be agriculture. Government to pay rupee 2.37 lakh crore towards pronouncement of wheat and paddy under MSP operations. 2022 to 2023 has been announced as International Year of Millets. A rationalized scheme to increase domestic oilseed production will be brought in to cut down imports. Financial support will be provided to farmers to take up agroforestry. Kisan drones for crop assessment. Land records a string of uncertainties expected to drive a wave of technology in agriculture sector. And next point is education. One class, one TV channel program of PM Prime Minister E-Vidya will be expanded from 12 to 200 TV channels. This will enable all states to provide supplementary education in regional languages for classes 1 to 12. Digital university to be set up to provide education to be built on hub and spoke model. First class TV channel to be implemented to provide supplementary education to children to make up for loss of formal education due to COVID-19. And the next point is healthcare. An open platform for national digital health ecosystem will be rolled out. It will consist of digital streets of health providers and health facilities, unique health identity and universal access to health facilities. 95% of network aspirational districts have made significant process in health infrastructure. And the last point is for mental health counseling. A national tele-mental health program will be launched. And the point is railway and travel. E-passports will be rolled out in 22 to 23 for convenience in overseas travel. E-passport will embedded chip will rolled out. 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains to be manufactured in next 3 years. 2,000 kilometers of rail networks to be brought under Exis technology coverage for safety and capacity augmentation. And then will be telecom spectrum auction will be conducted in 2022 for the rollout of 5G. Schemes for design-led manufacturing to be launched for 5G ecosystem as part of PLI scheme to enable affordable broadband and mobile communication in rural and remote areas. Data center and energy storage system to be given infrastructure stature, move to provide easy financing. Contracts for laying optical fiber in villages to be awarded under BharatNet project under PPP in 2022 to 2023. And next, be women and children. Recognizing the importance of Nari Shakti, 3 schemes were launched to provide integrated development for women. 2 lakh Anganwadis to be upgraded for improving child health. And some important points in the budget. The union budget seeks to lay foundation and give blueprint of economy over Amrit Kal of next 25 years from India at 75 to India at 100. Government committed to reduce import and promote self-reliance in defense sector. Union budget of India referred to annual financial statement in Article 112 of Constitution of India. The annual budget, the last point of budget is the annual budget of India presented each year on February by Finance Minister of India in Parliament. Thank you all.
Thank you, teammate, for your insights on India's union budget. Last but not the least, in Team 9, we have Kaustubh Mittal, Bhaskar Mishra, Jagran Srivastav, and Komal Kumari Jha. They will be presenting impact of Indian budget 2022 on cryptocurrency and its future scenario.
A very good afternoon to all. My name is Komal Jha, and I'm going to present about impact of Indian budget 2022 on cryptocurrency and its future scenario. What is cryptocurrency? A cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency designed to work as a medium of exchange. And cryptocurrency it enables the source of medium of online transaction. It uses cryptography to secure and verify transactions, as well as to control the creation of new units of a particular cryptocurrency. It uses cryptography to more secure. Essentially, cryptocurrency are limited entries in the database that no one can add activities to unless a specific condition are fulfilled. Blockchain is most the support structure to allow all to track, move, store, and protect cryptocurrencies. What is different between normal currencies and cryptocurrencies? For normal currency, the government controls the value of currency. It is fully centralized, but cryptocurrency are fully decentralized. Low transaction fees to transaction money all over the world. The fees is same independent to distance, country, borders. Most cryptocurrency are produced is controlled by an algorithm that no single person or company or country can change. It is built on blockchain and cryptography technology. From where it comes, on 3 January 2009, the Bitcoin network came into existence, but it started trade on 2010. Satoshi Nakamoto mining the Genesis block of Bitcoin, block number 0. He had a reward of 50 Bitcoin. In 2011, the price of one Bitcoin is $30. In 2030, the price of one Bitcoin is $1,100. And 2021, the price of one Bitcoin is $16,000. Blockchain. What is blockchain? It is a chain of blocks. Each block contains some data like data, hash, etc. And blockchain is a backbone technology of digital cryptocurrencies. Each block is linked to each other with hash. Hash is a unique code of individual block. For creating every block, it takes solve millions of mathematical calculations. Advantage of cryptocurrencies. There are no restriction in payment. हम कितने भी तरह के पेमेंट कर सकते हैं, कितने भी अमाउंट के पेमेंट कर सकते हैं, हमारे पास कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शंस नहीं है. मेंटेन द एनोनिमिटी. हमारा जो ट्रांजैक्शन है वो बहुत सिक्योर होता है थ्रू क्रिप्टोग्राफी. कोई थर्ड पार्टी को उसमें अलाउ नहीं होता है कि वो हमारे ट्रांजैक्शंस को ट्रेस कर पाए, तो ये बहुत सिक्योर होता है. यूज ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स एल्गोरिथम. उसकी एल्गोरिथम बहुत ही हार्ड तरीके से डिजाइन की जाती है, क्योंकि हम उसमें बहुत सारे मैथमेटिक्स, उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए हम बहुत सारे मैथमेटिक्स एल्गोरिथम को यूज करते हैं. सो वी कैन नॉट ट्रेस देम इजीली. स्पीड ऑफ एक्सचेंज. इसकी स्पीड बहुत होती है व्हेन वी आर ट्रांसफरिंग द डाटा. नो थर्ड पार्टी इन्वॉल्वमेंट. इन टू पार्टीज एग्जिस्टेंस. कोई भी थर्ड पार्टी को उसके इंफॉर्मेशन को जानने की अनुमति नहीं होती है, बिकॉज ऑफ इनकी सिक्योरिटी बहुत अच्छी होती है क्रिप्टोकरेंसी की, तो कोई थर्ड पार्टी उसको इजीली ट्रेस नहीं कर पाता है. अगर वो करने की कोशिश भी करेगा तो उसे बहुत सारी दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ेगा. वेरी लेस ट्रांजैक्शन फीस. इसकी फीस बहुत लेस होती है व्हेनेवर यू आर ट्रांसफरिंग द डाटा. क्रिप्टोग्राफी. A cryptography is a study of securing communication from outside observation. They encrypt your data through plain text or to the ciphertext, which is not readable and understandable anyone. And the key allow the user of decrypt the message, thus ensuring on they can read the message. The danger of the randomness of encryption is allowed studies which make it harder for the annoying the guess the key of input of the algorithm. Cryptography is how we can achieve more secure and reverse connection to evade our privacy. Disadvantage of cryptocurrency. Lack of awareness. आज की जनरेशन में क्रिप्टोग्राफी की नॉलेज बहुत कम है, बिकॉज ये बहुत अभी लोगों को इनके बारे में ज्यादा पता नहीं है. अगर वो इस सेक्टर में आके उनको कोई ट्रेडिंग करना है, अगर विदाउट नॉलेज वो करेंगे तो दिस इज नॉट गुड फॉर एम. उनको बहुत सारे डिसएडवांटेज फेस करना पड़ जाएगा. नॉट एक्सेप्ट एवरीवेयर. कितनी कंट्रीज में क्रिप्टो करेंसी को बैन कर दिया है, तो इट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल फॉर एवरीवेयर. नो रिवर्स ऑफ पेमेंट एंड रिकवरी. अगर हमारा कोई ट्रांजेक्शन गलती से किसी और के बैंक में चला जाता है, किसी एक और के अकाउंट में चला जाता है, तो हम उसको रिकवर नहीं कर सकते because of security. Black marketing. There are also a illegal transaction are there. There are also a misuse in terrorist activities also. Payment cannot trust by any organization because it is very secure. वो गवर्नमेंट के थ्रू भी ट्रस्ट नहीं की जा सकती. Tax on crypto. In budget 2022, government has implemented tax on crypto assets, which is 30% on net profit and 1% in TDS. हम अपनी इनकम गवर्नमेंट से ना छुपा पाए, इसीलिए अब क्रिप्टो करेंसी के हर एक ट्रांजैक्शन पे 1% का TDS कटने लगेगा. और ये काम उस प्लेटफॉर्म पे होगी जहां से हम ट्रेडिंग करेंगे. सो कोई भी इनकम गवर्नमेंट से छुपी नहीं रहेगी. अगर आपको जितना प्रॉफिट हुआ है और आप कितना शो कर रहे हैं, वो गवर्नमेंट की नजर में होगा. RBI may launch a cryptocurrency CBDS. It is a progress or in India cryptocurrency market. Government is taking it as a legal asset. That is why they are implement tax on it. Sequence of crypto at global level. China, including China and 8 others, have all banned cryptocurrency in their country. Many global brands like Apple, Microsoft, Whole Foods, all accept it as a currency to buy their product. In conclusion, in the budget 2022 cleared doubt and removed unclarity over the future of cryptocurrency in India. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced in her budget speech that the Reserve Bank of India will launch its digital currency in year starting April 1st. The all about it is a currency of future, and we should ready to accept it. That's all about my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team 9, for making us understand impact of Union Budget 2022 on cryptocurrency and its future scenario. Now we will proceed to valedictory session and certificate distribution. Congratulations to all. I would like to thank all the teams for their outstanding performance on this national symposium. With this, we are towards the end of the second session. We are thankful for every one of us present here for your efforts and your precious time. This session really helped us with clarifying our perspective on Budget 2022. We appreciate everyone's contribution to the National Symposium. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to request everyone here to kindly stand for the national anthem.
Janagana mana adhinayak jaya he Bharat bhagya vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Vanga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे